All right, I'm Jay Stone. Welcome to another episode of my show at rockmetaltalk.com, live from Tarpon Springs. You can check me out on Stone Chrome Radio Friday nights at midnight, Saturday at noon, Granite Coast Entertainment, and you can also hear me on MaximumThreshold.net. So what you just heard was Expanding by Machines on Blast. And I have Evan on the phone. He just released a brand new CD, just did a killer show, so we're going to talk to him for a little bit and see what's going on inside the world of Machines on Blast. So welcome to the show, Evan. How are you?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Not much. So you just released the CD. We were talking before the show, and, you're relatively, a new band, not so new, but tell us a little bit about the background of the band and about the new CD.
Well, originally Machines on Blast was just a project that I created by myself. It was just going to be like a kind of like a one-man EDM thing. And then this, through the progression of writing, it turned into what it is now, almost like an industrial metal, dancey kind of thing. And it happened rather quick, through having one song get guitar on it. It just completely spun off and became something that I never intended it to be, but glad that it did.
Right.
We're having a blast with it.
What is that the style of music you listen to, is the industrial metal? Because I've noticed talking to a lot of musicians on the show, and the music they play versus the music they listen to varies so far. So is that really what you're into, or?
I do like it. My favorite artist of all time is Cat Stevens. And I really just really listen to like a lot of 50s doo-wop stuff is my favorite style of music. But I do enjoy the metal and all that. Right. I generally tend not to listen to a whole lot of it because I don't want it to influence what I write.
Right.
I know like the ideas coming out of my head aren't, from another song I just heard.
Yeah, me being before I got into radio, I was a musician, so I understand that feeling because I tend to lean towards what I'm listening to. If I'm listening to anything at that time, or my stage show picks up those antics of that band. So I always had that dilemma of, should I be listening to music while I'm recording a new CD and going through these rehearsals to do live shows and shit like that, because that's tend to what happens subconsciously. So I've sat down in the studio and written a complete song in like an hour, and I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the best songs I've ever written, and then it turns out to be Wish by Nine Inch Nails. Right, exactly.
It's happened more than once, so it's like anytime I go to sit, I clear of anything that I would put in the same genre or category as we are, and just kind of start fresh.
Now with the new CD, did you stick to the roots there and record that all by yourself, or did the members of the live show have input on it?
I write everything. Then generally what we do is I'll write a complete song minus the lyrics. Then we'll send everything down WAV files to the internet to my guitar player, and he adds his part. I generally do everything on the record besides the guitars up to this point. I recorded bass, like all the synths, did the drum programming, vocals, obviously. I think going forward, since we now have a full, concise band, we'll have the other members, like our bass player, Scott, actually do all the bass parts, and we'd like to actually get some live drums on the next thing we do. Yeah, I want everyone in the band to have as much input as possible, but generally it's just me sitting in my studio 24 hours a day writing.
So,
I'm a hermit.
Yeah, I hear you. So that's what I used to do when I demoed. Now, you mentioned 24 hours a day, so I know it's hard. I've recorded that. My favorite style of music, basically, is industrial metal. Pretty much the style you're on, Bile, what Seven Factor does. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with him, like
yes, sir.
James from Kisses Kill. I love that type of stuff, and I know you were on a compilation CD with him. He mentioned it in one of the posts, so that's what cover song did you do on that?
I honestly don't remember.
Really? That's because you're working too much.
A lot of compilations that we did separate songs for. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Just
no, that's all right. No, when you're busy, you don't know. I couldn't tell you, half the places I played.
A song of "Send Me an Angel" for Homa, which was pretty cool. We actually ended up doing that live once.
Are those like these type of CDs? Like I never really got into doing covers, but I know some of these CDs. Like I was offered to do a Stone Temple Pilots one and stuff like that. Are these things you're paying to get on for promotion, or are these like legitimate releases?
They're offered. Whoever's putting it together will send us, "Hey, we're doing a comp," and generally it's for a cause, whether it be cancer or some sort of benefit. We were asked to do it.
Now, when you do something like that, do you feel more pressure to get something done and make it sound better, or do you just stick to focusing on what you basically want to do?
No, I mean, I got a general pattern of what I do to create, and I mean, I'm a perfectionist at heart, so I'll sit there and harp over a snare drum for a week, but
right.
These things generally give you enough time to do that. But like, if a comp comes up, I'll shut everything else off and only focus on that song till it's done and where I feel it needs to be.
Now, the future music, do you already have stuff for a next release, or are you just going to ride this out for a little bit and take a break from writing?
We started writing the week after we got everything from Tin Man Empire done. It's a nonstop process.
Cool. Yeah,
for a good 15 songs that didn't make this CD, so we just go, like, we don't want to create music that has any filler. Like, every song needs to have a purpose and a reason, and have as much effort put behind it as the previous song was. So it's a constant process, and we sit there and we pick and choose and find the best ones, and it goes. For 10 years, it's going to be 1,000 songs that no one's ever going to hear.
I hear you. I listened to the whole thing when you released it on SoundCloud or wherever it was you put the link out. And, I pretty much listened to the whole thing. So you definitely did the right thing, because I liked every song, not one that I feel that I had to move past. So it's definitely not filler. And you don't find that, in a lot of independent music, especially someone that's not really being guided by a label, being told what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
it's just being a workaholic and wanting to put out the best thing I can.
Right. Instead of, because that's the only way you're going to cut through all the bullshit. I mean, everybody now is a musician and putting music out, and they're all internet famous and all this shit. So, but
I mean, I think like a lot of that came because I'm like a drummer by trade, and it was always being in the background and just waiting for everyone else to make the right decisions and do the right things, and 9 times out of 10, those were the wrong decisions. So it was like when I got the opportunity to put this together and start going, it's like I don't want to ever like put my guys through that or myself through those things again. Because a lot, like, the things that went wrong were so ego driven.
Yeah, that's a lot of the problem is the egos. But now I didn't know that about you, that you were a drummer before that. So that's why it's good to talk to people, on the air, because people get to learn about the person themselves and not just the music. So what made you come out from behind the kit and decide to be a front man?
Well, there's a lot. That's a long answer. Because I really originally wasn't going to sing on this. I was going to write and find someone to do it, and it was going to be like a 2-piece project. But like growing up in my entire life, I have massive stage fright. Like if I was to get up in front of a group of 1 person or 20 people, I'd vomit. And there's something to me. I like to get over things and move forward and push past things. So I decided that I'm going to find some sort of voice, because I don't feel I can sing. I think I can and do the part, but I don't. What's in my head never comes out of my mouth.
Right.
But a lot of it was just getting over this fear I've had my entire life, and I did it. So.
Now, do you still get nervous? I mean, I've played thousands of shows and get nervous, but I mean,